this computer. All right, we're good to go. Good to go. I'm hosting, aren't I?
Yeah.
All right, well, awkward. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the roundtable.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome.
All right, fuck you.
Boys and ladies,
ladies and girls, boys and gentlemen,
dogs.
Coca-Cola Zero. Welcome to the BOTA show. We got the roundtable going on here. Do I need the notes? I have my phone, and is that a Google Doc that you shared?
Yes, sir.
All right, so then I will get the notes up, but I can stall for 2 minutes. Stalling.
Oh, you want me to fill the gap?
Oh, I thought that's what we were. Never mind. Drew, do more tongue things. Stall.
That's only for video. All right.
No.
You gotta like and subscribe for that shit.
I know. It's amazing.
you will not get the tongue content if you don't like and subscribe.
Not a shot.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think we're simping out here.
Yeah, it's pay to play, boys. Pay to play. Well, we had a very interesting week of sports, as in, there weren't many.
Nope.
Not a lot of news for you guys.
No, but we're gonna be here for every bit that we could.
Yeah.
Make something out of.
You know how we do.
You already know who it is.
It's James.
Yeah.
And Zach.
Yeah.
And Drew. Blinded by the light.
And copyright strike.
Yeah. We haven't said
Bye,
a
Denmark.
single thing yet.
No, we haven't. We haven't said anything of sustenance, and that's okay. We're gonna keep this in.
This is the show.
This is
the
what
show.
you sign up for with the BOTA show.
Where is it,
Right.
James? Where is
It's
it?
why
in
you're
the
here.
fucking notes.
You just changed the notes for the BOTA show, or did you
Yeah.
make a new one?
Did you put
I got it.
long, awkward pause in the notes?
It is in there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's start some segments here on the BOTA show.
Not this one.
We have
Not this one?
the BOTA news. That stays in there after. Well,
Can't go back now.
all right. Well, let's start in football this week.
Oh, black cherry tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's probably cough
That's why I
syrup.
said you could have it. I'm blinded by the light.
Probably the biggest news this week out of all the sports. Carson Wentz was traded for a 3rd-round pick this year and a 2nd-round pick that is a conditional 1st-round pick for next year.
Yep. What was the stipulation? He has to play either 75%
Yeah,
or
the
70.
The
and play in
stipulation
playoffs.
is
I
if
don't
Carson Wentz plays 75% of the season.
I don't like how Zach said that.
I know I did that on purpose.
You're a piece of shit.
That's all right. That's what I live for. Yeah. If he plays 75% of the season, then it gets bumped up to a 1st-round pick. Or if he plays just under 75, it's 70%, and the Colts make the playoffs. So most likely, it's going to be a 1st-round pick, as long as Carson Wentz actually plays for them. But I mean, realistically, if Carson Wentz gets hurt, the Colts probably won't make the playoffs. So, you know what I mean?
I mean, yes and no. I think they're in a position where they have enough weapons, which is kind of the benefit of Carson Wentz going there, right? Is they have enough weapons, they could plug someone in there and make it to the playoffs at the minimum.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't necessarily know about that because
they're in the AFC South. It's
At this point, that's a wide open division.
the worst case scenario is 2nd place in the division.
Yeah.
That is the worst case scenario
right,
for the
but,
Colts.
no, correct. That's understandable because you have the Texans and the Jaguars.
Right.
Right.
And no matter how good Trevor Lawrence is going to be,
They're not a quarterback away
No.
from being a competitive team. No.
no, they weren't an Urban Meyer away from being a competitive team.
They're,
either, but,
they're not a head coach or a quarterback away from being a competitive team.
No, and I mean, I think you
They're
look
a
at
full
it.
team
I
away
think
from being
Trevor Lawrence is going to have a rough rookie year. I think he's going to have a lot of growing pains coming into the league. And most of it's going to come from the fact that they only remedied a couple issues on a really bad team.
Mm-hmm.
The Texans are going through a full rebuild. Tear that bitch
If you
down.
can call it that.
If you can call it. I don't even think they're in rebuild stage. I think they're still
It's
in
a
burn it
rebuild
down.
that they're not willing to admit is a rebuild.
Yeah.
Which is
Not-
bizarre because you have the first overall pick.
What?
The Texans? No.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the Jaguars.
They gave up their first round pick to the Dolphins.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh well, I was thinking in terms of you could say the same thing for the Jaguars. I mean, 2017 is not that far away, and they were in the AFC Championship and looked like they were going to be
The Texans have never made it that far.
around. No, I know, but then ever since then they've just been progressively getting.
Yeah, but at least the
worse.
Jaguars were willing to purge of Jalen Ramsey and a lot of the culture that was there.
That's
and
fair.
kind of have made it known that they're trying to change that organization. They're trying to instill a winning culture down there. And bringing in
Duval.
guys like Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence in, theory should help.
Yeah. Sidebar: getting Travis Etienne back with Trevor Lawrence on that team would be fire.
I mean, they have a back end
They
first round.
They do. They have like the 23 or something.
That is an entirely possible thing.
I did a couple draft box yesterday or the day before that. So
And
yeah.
have it set that way that they would go James Robinson and Travis Etienne.
What? Oh yes. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was the player. Yeah, those were the player mocks that I was getting.
I mean, that could happen. Honestly, I think I would stack that lineup and at least take care of one side of the ball. Because if you have Trevor Lawrence, who can at least do half decent his rookie year, James Robinson, who's proven that he can be a running back, and then wide receivers of Laviska Shenault, Keenan Cole, who's not that bad, Keenan Cole, thank you, and Keelan Cole, third time's a charm, and fucking DJ Chark.
Yeah,
You have the weapons. Maybe get a tight end to round it off, but
you have a
And
tight
the
end.
O-line is
in
not.
Eifert,
I mean, yeah, I would say so. I mean, well, okay,
you
think
have
about
a
it like this.
safety valve. You don't have a true.
You don't have a
TE1.
true. You don't have a true TE1. But I mean, the upside is there is if he stays healthy and he gains trust
Drew
with.
hates that.
I know. That's fine. He can hate it all he wants, but I think
Tyler Eifert is done.
I think we need to give him a little more credit.
Tyler Eifert.
He played on some
done.
bad Bengals teams and got banged up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, he's done.
Well, anyways,
I don't
let's-
think he's ever going to be anything close to what he used to be, even on bad Bengals teams.
I'll say this:
Yeah.
even looking at the classes of tight end we've had in the past 2 years ago, and then this year upcoming. Obviously, we don't know how they're actually going to pan out in the NFL, but
Right.
the classes of tight end are getting better and better, like everything. So eventually, even if he is good, Tyler Eifert's going to be phased out, or he's going to be a journeyman.
He's too old at this point and too hurt and
Yeah.
too everything. It's I don't think that he's going to be a mainstay there. I don't think that he really should even be in the league still at this point. I don't know how much he has left to offer. But
Well, I don't know. This is not Jaguars talk.
no.
Let's move on to our next point here.
Update: Black Cherry still awful.
Yeah, no, that's fair. The
There's always one bad
Packers are making moves. Drew was mentioning that earlier.
Clearing up some space.
Clearing up some cap space,
Those are the
restructuring
only moves
things.
to be made right now.
Yep, they restructured David
Free up that
Bakhtiari's,
space and sign JJ.
Please, God, no.
Yeah.
Zach, I brought this up on garbage time, but the Bills are going to have to clear space, and right now John Brown's holding 8.1 over them.
Yeah.
Could there be a possibility we
Yes.
see John Brown go to Green Bay? 'Cause
Yeah.
that would be sick.
Oh, Green Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Patriots because I've seen John
That's
Brown. to the
also
Patriots.
a possible move.
I would like to see that for the Packers because they already have those kind of wide receivers, but John Brown can actually catch the fucking ball.
I mean, it would be like having a slightly more injury-prone Randall Cobb back.
Yeah.
That's actually really true.
Yeah, that's not inaccurate.
And let's think about it like this. I mean, he had a couple of good seasons on the Cardinals, then disappeared, and then revitalized his career at the Bills.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it would be a nice compliment to have him be the real number 2 guy, and then let whoever slot in MVS, who I still think is a great deep ball receiver when he catches the fucking football.
Right,
And-
but in order to be a good deep ball receiver, don't you need to fucking catch the ball in the first place?
yeah, but getting
that
open
step one,
deep
get
is a
separation?
monster in itself. Because I mean,
Yeah.
most defenses are take away the deep ball first. don't let anyone behind you.
Fair.
It's kind of the mantra of playing safety.
Well, except for the Packers in the championship game, but besides the
At
point.
Scotty Miller.
At
Scotty
Kevin
Miller.
King.
At Kevin.
King.
Come on, Kevin, what you doing, buddy?
But
You don't-
I think that getting open downfield consistently, I mean, completely behind defenses, like MVS does. I don't know that I've seen any receivers that get open behind defenses quite as consistently as he does lately.
Well, I mean, he led the league in
he is
yards per reception.
He is insane at getting behind people. So if he can start catching the ball,
So
then
am I.
Ew.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
the black cherry of
What it-
statements.
if he can start catching the ball, then I think he slots in perfect as that third receiver.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. He's definitely not a number 2. That's the thing the Packers have been missing for the past 3 years is a number 2, someone to
It's just
replace
a
Randall
number
Cobb.
2.
Yeah.
They really need to take
Yeah.
a shit.
Yeah.
It's
The Lamar
Nobody's
Jackson
shit.
situation of the NFL
yeah.
right now.
The
The Packers
levels of
are
If they
Fiber.
take a Lamar shit, they're gonna win the Super Bowl next year and go get a number 2.
transcendental and then just get shit stomped by the Bills.
But I would love John Brown on the Packers. That would probably be a little expensive for what we have right now.
Yeah, especially if you want to sign JJ Watt to like a 1-year deal.
I would prefer to go draft, get someone. Maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown is there at the end of the first round.
I took him
there's
with
gonna be
my-
a lot of people there in the second round.
I took him
There
with
are
my
there's
second
it might not be last year's wide receiver class, but there is some serious wide receiver talent in the draft
I'm
this year.
willing to say it's better.
Really?
I'm willing to say it's better.
I mean, your top 3 wide receivers your top 3 wide receivers should be top 10 picks.
Guess what?
All right,
Your
well, it's
top
not the
5
wide
receivers
receiver. It's
should
not.
all be first round picks, and
it's-
they're not
it's-
going to be because of how many talented players are in the draft.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's not the 2019 draft classes for receivers.
okay, well that's
A draft class where you have Metcalf and AJ Brown and
N'Keal Harry.
Everybody say fucking keep it going.
You know, where everyone now named N'Keal Harry is now a mainstay player on their team.
Denzel Mims would have been fucking better than
I
N'Keal Harry.
mean, we're
couldn't
gonna get to
agree
this.
more.
we're gonna get to this when we go past the draft.
Oh.
Denzel Mims is my breakout player for the Jets. 100%.
Yeah, I know. If only can get someone to throw them the fucking ball.
They're building a hell of a line over there. If they end up with like Penei Sewell like this year, and you compare him with Mekhi Becton, and dude,
Yeah.
you're building an
A
offensive
lot of-
line for the
Yeah, but
ages if they stay healthy.
You got to think about it though. A lot of mock drafts have Zach Wilson going to the Jets.
It could happen. That's also not a bad move
No.
necessarily.
No.
But if I was running the Jets, I think I would go a more continue building what you have route, because you've made some investments in Sam Darnold and Denzel Mims, and you've invested in the offense so far. You let Le'Veon Bell, that window didn't line up right, I don't think.
No.
But dude, I'm not gonna give up on Sam Darnold if I'm the Jets.
I think I am, just because the relationship's so fractured. But I mean, you're gambling on his potential.
Which is, I mean,
It's there.
when he plays, it's there. And again, he hasn't had the best offense around him necessarily.
No, but like in that case, why wouldn't you take Wilson? Why wouldn't you use your second pick to get something else, protection or other, and then use the second round pick that you might get from Darnold to get another receiver and build that offense that you need him to have?
Because I'd rather build the offensive line as effectively as possible.
Fair.
Because
Fuck me, Hurd, Shaft.
I don't think there's any problem with that strategy. I just, in my mind, offensive line is the most important position on the offensive side of the football at this point in time.
Okay.
Fair enough.
With how defensive players are evolving, with, I can tell you firsthand, and so can Chiefs fans, that's for damn sure.
Brutal.
When you're
Brutal.
playing
At
against
Kevin King.
this one, surprisingly has nothing to do with
At
Kevin
Eric
King.
Fisher.
When you're playing against guys that have just the speed and raw athleticism of Jason Pierre-Paul's and Ndamukong Suh's and these stupid fast Chase Youngs. There's nothing you can do unless you have an offensive line that can at least buy you some time.
Yeah, in the passing game. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on.
Okay.
From our Packers point.
Which really
not a Packers point.
It was a football point. That's really all that matters.
That's what we do.
Potential Marcus Mariota talks to the Patriots.
Love it.
I could see that. I could get behind that. I think.
Love it.
I think the Patriots have so much fucking work to do on that side of the football.
They do. They really do. I mean, they just don't. Well, first of all, they have zero history in drafting a good receiver. I mean, fucking. Please tell me the last good receiver they've drafted.
N'Keal Harry.
No. They somehow find like late round like trades or draft picks for receivers that work out. Edelman, Welker. I mean,
I know what the Patriots do.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
go out and find guys and slot them into.
But let's not forget though, they didn't necessarily need to do that because they had the best quarterback of all time on the team.
Sure.
I mean, they got Randy Moss. They didn't win a Super Bowl. They had, well, Welker didn't win a Super Bowl with them either, but Edelman won how many? 3?
Yeah.
So
3 at this point? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At Kevin King. I this is a Kevin King episode. Anyways, I think that they need, or not they, Belichick needs to let someone else draft wide receivers. I think it's plain and simple. I think that if you're letting Bill Belichick, with the worst track record ever of drafting wide receivers, draft wide receivers, you're only going to get the same thing. You dig through the sand, you're going to get mud eventually. It's the same goddamn thing. Except it's wet. I don't know. I don't even trust Josh McDaniels to do that either. So I don't know who the fuck is drafting wide receivers. But anyways.
Can I tell you about something that excites me about the Patriots? Gets
What?
Me fucking rock hard for
What?
you guys.
What?
Is the fact that Micah Parsons is now falling in drafts because of his character issues. That is a quarterback.
Patriots love a good character issues guy.
Yeah.
So
if he falls to the 15, you score.
Yeah, I mean, I see that, and not only, I mean, I guess not only on the defense side of the ball. I know they like to go defense most of the time on first round picks, but I guess last year didn't matter. But
right.
I see Jalen Waddle falling too.
You don't want Jalen Waddle. I'm gonna be so honest with you, man. If you're looking at Jalen Waddle and we're gonna go through it, I know I get it. He has like the flash. He's a more refined Henry Ruggs, but he's still a Henry Ruggs type. You're still talking about a guy who would be better as a wide receiver too for a couple of years. He is not a Jerry Jeudy type. Jerry Judy's a wide receiver in the draft.
And in a Kyle Shanahan inspired system, in that motion or McVay inspired really, that pre-play motion, the confusion, utility, can do it all kind of guy. Yeah. The kind of system I think Laviska Shenault would benefit from heavily. Right. You're not going to get that in New England.
Okay,
especially not right now.
I have a serious question. All right. So this is a complete tangent, but I was looking on Twitter the other day. I think it was a tweet by Adam Schefter.
It's on Twitter the other day.
Yeah. And he doesn't care.
We're talking college football. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm rock hard right now.
More of a draft kind of thing.
All right, still into it. Half jump.
Excuse me. And so after Carson Wentz got traded, it was, teams are over 26 on keeping or retaining their first round drafted quarterback. Mm-hmm. And there was the list, and it was,
Speaking of, the guy that went before him also got traded this year.
Correct. Like literally 10 days before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say Jared Goff wasn't. The Jared Goff situation was strange because Carson Wentz did not have a good season.
It was much more by surprise.
I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, if Matthew Stafford's going anywhere, the quarterback is also swapped, but
knew that the Rams were looking to move Goff.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to go basically straight up swapping quarterbacks.
Yeah, which is crazy. But yeah. So here's my question. why do teams get blamed for drafting busts when the prospects are pushed on the team as these all-around athletes and then they don't work out?
Because the mindset for a long time wasn't draft the best person for what you need. It was draft the best person available. So the Eagles are a perfect example this year. The best person available, according to the draft board, is Trey Lance at 5. That's not what they need. They have Jalen Hurts. If Chase Smith is there, or my God, Jamar Chase is there. Jesus Christ, I just combined 2 names. If Jamar Chase is there, you should go for him. If any other receiver is there, you should go for him.
Okay, right.
Because he's not what you need. You don't need another.
No, right. I understand that. And so I would say in terms of that, if you're picking a player based on need and, there was another player like 3 slots down or whatever that was a better option, I get that. But how does one determine you're the best prospect? Do you know what I mean? That gets pushed on people so much. And most of the time, and look at the quarterbacks that have come out of the draft in the first round for the past 7 years, or from 2009, 2016, they haven't panned out. And they've been compared to legends.
Yeah.
And they just don't pan out. And it doesn't make any sense.
I think a lot of that comes from how the draft process works in basically all American sports, honestly. Where the worst teams are drafting the top prospects. So even if somebody has a lot of potential, and you've seen it happen plenty of times, someone gets drafted, they don't work out there, they get cut or traded or whatever, and they thrive on a new team. So I don't know. I think it's a really hard thing to put on, especially early round picks, because they're going to teams that are going.
That's more or less what I mean.
1-15.
Yeah, that's more or less what I mean. Is those high round
that's
picks.
Why, in my opinion, you can't judge an NFL draft pick until either A, 3 years into their career, or B, you've seen them in multiple systems.
Fair. I can accept that.
Yeah, I just thought of that question because I was like, these players really do get pushed onto teams. Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 prospect in the country. Mm-hmm. He's getting pushed to whoever has the number 1 pick.
Right.
But, obviously teams can, change their minds. If they didn't want to go Trevor Lawrence, they didn't have to. Right?
I mean,
in theory,
but with how loud the internet is.
Correct.
Right.
But that's a more recent change to things. But back when it was even just like reputation, and you're talking about, teams that are just going 1-15 and 2-14 and getting the top overall pick. Do you think these quarterbacks are thrilled coming out of school being the number 1 prospect and be like, yay, I get to go to, the Browns?
Yeah, fair.
I can't tell you how many quarterbacks probably
Sam Bradford
go into a shit Rams team. It's hard. And Sam Bradford is another one of those guys that showed some flash. Now he's a different case because he was so injured throughout his entire career. But when he was on the field, he showed that he could play well. But he was on a crappy Rams team.
Yeah, that's true.
He got hurt all the time. But when he went to the Vikings, he had some okay play. Then he got hurt.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think it's hard to judge. You definitely can't judge within the first couple of years unless they're a rare case that gets bounced around early on. I don't know. Draft busts aren't solely on the prospects. They're not solely on the teams. They're on the combination of the prospect and the team.
Yeah.
That's what creates a draft bust.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I would say Russell, if Jamarcus Russell ends up somewhere that's not Oakland, he might have a different career.
No, because his mentality sucked.
Yeah. His mentality sucked, but the Raiders at that time weren't the best place for a guy with a mentality that sucked.
No, and this will be my last statement, I think, before we move on, so we don't go on a full tangent.
Yeah.
But I think for fans to look at it and say like, oh, he wants to come here and like change the culture, that's kind of drinking the Kool-Aid. Like every quarterback who's getting drafted is going to say that in their interviews. They're going to say, yeah, I'm the guy who can change X,
they
Y, Z.
know that they're going to end up there. They know that is the reality that they're living in.
Yeah. Right.
So why are you going to sit there and say, no, I'm not excited to go play for this team? That is not the way to do that. That would
Because honestly, at the end of the day, it hurts your paycheck.
It does hurt your
not only your paycheck, it
does
hurts
hurt-
your image, it hurts your draftability.
Well, can I just argue against that point? There's been one case where that's happened and it's worked out for all three quarterbacks involved.
No.
2004, Eli Manning didn't want to go to the
yeah.
Chargers, got drafted by the Giants, worked out for Eli. I would say it worked out for Phillip.
Yeah, fair enough.
I guess I was equating Ben to that draft.
Buy transitive property also
Yeah,
worked out for Drew Brees.
Yes, also worked out for Drew Brees. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that plays fair enough. So if you're fucking throw a temper tantrum and your daddy and your brother were great at football, guess what? You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Again, special case.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy that's the son of an NFL legend.
Right. It is.
And the brother of one of the most highly touted draft prospects at that time for I don't know how long.
Arguably the
what was
best
it? What was it, a
translated-
5-year gap?
I'd have
4
to
or
look at
5
the
years?
actual number.
When was Manning drafted? 99?
I think
99.
Yeah, but arguably the most well-translated college to Hall of Fame player. But we gotta stop talking NFL.
Yeah.
This is not the NFL show.
Let's go.
No,
let's
it's
go.
not.
Let's move on here. Let's go to the NBA. I think this news came out like an hour, 2 hours
not
ago.
too long ago.
DeMarcus Cousins likely done in Houston.
Yeah.
Everyone's just leaving Houston. Bye,
Boogie,
Houston.
I mean, Boogie in
Bye.
Houston's a thing that's gonna go away. I don't know where
I don't
he'll
know
end up.
what or who did whatever to curse Houston, Texas. But man,
yeah.
take it back.
No, fuck that.
I
Fuck 'em.
don't hate Houston that much. Shit, I hate
do.
the Astros. Fuck the Astros. But
No, I hate
like
Houston as a
everyone
whole.
else, like shit. I
Well-
feel so bad for the people in Houston with the snow
But
and
between him and Blake
them
Griffin,
losing all of their players.
between
all
him,
of them. All of them.
between him and Blake Griffin, there would be two big men on the market that would be good role players.
Yeah,
I don't think
they're
that-
not. They're
No.
not. They're not key players anymore. You know
No,
what I mean?
they're not.
I
who they
think
were.
I think Blake Griffin is a more valuable asset at this point.
Oh, no, of
than
I would
course.
say
Boogie
so
Cousins.
too, because he refined his game to have a three.
And
That's true.
yes, and DeMarcus Cousins really hasn't done anything for the
No,
last
since
couple.
the Achilles injury.
Yeah, he won
Since
it.
he
He
was-
won a championship in Golden State by proxy.
Yeah, I mean, since he played for Sacramento,
Yeah,
he really hasn't done anything.
No,
else.
that's
true.
there.
That's true. Well, let's move to Denver. Jamal Murray dropped a 50 burger, 50 points without actually attempting a free throw, which is the first time that's ever happened in NBA history, which is insane.
Yeah, nuts.
Insane.
I mean,
He went what 21 to 25 from the floor.
Dude, in
Like
today's
ridiculous.
NBA, like I said, I just don't see how you have the ball enough of the time to score 50 points and not get fouled once.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
understand
insane.
it.
I don't know that he didn't get fouled,
He only
but
had
to not get fouled and sent to the line once
Yeah.
the
is crazy. Not even an and one. Like,
no, I mean, he only had 4 misses in the game. Like
Yeah.
Jamal Murray this season hasn't been good. He was not last season Jamal Murray.
No.
And
Well,
Well,
he wasn't last season NBA bubble
Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fair.
That's a whole different
We'll get
discussion.
to we'll get to who has been their bubble self though.
Will we?
We will in like 2 points. We will.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, he hasn't been what he was in the playoffs. And maybe that's just, he is a guy that kind of thrives in the spotlight and thrives with a chance to make stuff happen. But you got to get your team there first.
Yeah.
That's how it
No,
works.
true. I
So,
mean, well, the Nuggets are slowly, repairing the damage that they did by losing all those fucking games at the beginning of the season. But
yeah, and they have a good team.
yeah, they have.
It's
they're
not
a
like
decent
Jamal Murray's their only
No,
guy.
No,
It's-
Nikola
they have
Jokic is there.
Jokic. They have
team. Yeah, and he's
they have
he's
support
third in
from a-
he's third in All-Star.
And
Third in
Jokic
MVP
is-
votes right now.
one of the best big men in the league. Period.
Yeah, no, of course.
In all aspects of the game,
All
he
right.
is incredible.
No, he's great. Just I guess conference updates. The 76ers are still in the lead in the East.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brooklyn is creeping up on them ever so
Yeah,
slightly.
they've been able to. Brooklyn's been able to surprisingly manage really well with not having a full roster. They just got Kyrie back the other day.
Yeah.
They managed to pull back.
Well, James Harden beat the Lakers without Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
Yes, and that was mostly due to a great defensive effort in the second and the bench,
Which
The
is
bench
bizarre because the Nets have not been playing good
No,
defense.
they've been playing atrocious defense.
Yeah.
It's been
So
bad. So good on. I mean, Philadelphia is there, but I mean, they should feel the Nets.
no, I'll let that one marinate. The Utah Jazz, I think, are surprising everyone with how fucking amazing they're playing right now.
Yeah.
They control the West with a 2-game lead. Donovan Mitchell, ever since Shaq said that he was not an elite player, has been anything but elite.
No, I know. I mean, Donovan Mitchell
gets right back to your
Nothing
loop
but
of
elite. Sorry.
guy that is playing as his bubble self.
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell, man.
He's
Can
been,
carry a
it's
team.
been
And Rudy Gobert,
unbelievable.
as funny as those
I know, it's crazy.
memes are about, he shut down
Insane.
the entire league.
Literally, he did.
He is a very solid big man. He is a presence in the middle of the court.
It's true.
And they got some shooters on that team, man. There's some interesting teams this year.
It's gonna be a
I
real
like how things are
fun
shaping up.
playoff.
I'd love to see a Jazz Nuggets rematch in the playoffs if we can get there.
It'd be tough,
Yeah.
but it could happen. It could very well happen. I mean, Donovan Mitchell right now is 15th in scoring. He has like 24, I think, or 25 point whatever. Like, good on him. He's pushing them through games. He has a chip on his shoulder and he's playing amazingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the rink, boys. I'll cover the NHL.
All right, sit back. This is my fucking time to do what I want.
I only got a couple of points, and this won't be too bad. All right. I think the biggest news we had, at least for today, was the outdoor game that was going on earlier today has been postponed and is going to resume at midnight tonight.
Midnight?
Well, don't forget they're in Lake Tahoe, so it's 3 hours behind. So,
Oh, so
yeah,
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Still
Yeah.
a weird time.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's because of the sun
Midnight
glare.
Lake hockey is sick.
I'm actually very excited to see what they've got in store for that. But yeah, that's been postponed. All right, just don't pour me one. That's fine. That was so rude.
We looked at you.
Well, I wasn't paying attention. I'm doing the NHL news. Anyways,
That seems like a cheer ball.
yeah, fair enough. The Bruins Flyers game tomorrow has been postponed until 7:30. In other NHL news, the Panthers have been on absolute fire. They're 11.
They fucked up my Lightning.
Yeah, they're
bad.
11-2-2. I mean, they're obviously benefiting from a terrible Central Division, but Joel Quenneville's got them playing like a real solid hockey
I
team
still
right
can't
now.
believe the Blues are in the fucking West. That blows my mind. They could have aligned these divisions so
weird.
much better, dude.
It's
Zach,
bizarre.
Let me ask you, how concerned should the Lightning fans be about not having Kucherov at this point? Because it looks like teams are finally finding an answer.
Less concerned than they would be if they were in any other division.
I guess.
Yeah, no, the Lightning are hovering right now, and they're gonna be fine because you still have Andre Vasilevsky in
Right.
net. So, I mean, yeah, you might have some games where it's not going so great for you, but at the end of the day, like, you won the Stanley Cup last year. If you don't win it again this year, it's okay. Like, let someone else have a chance.
No, it's 16-17 Penguins are bust.
Oh God, yeah, because Matt Murray's doing so fucking good right now.
Hey man, I don't know.
He's on Ottawa. They're like 2-12-1.
Dude, Ottawa's so bad.
Matt Murray's got like an above 5, he's got like a 5.3 something goals against average, and his save percentage I think is sub 800.
Oh, wait
Oh
a
my
minute. That
God.
means he lets up like more than 5 goals a game.
Ottawa's giving up so many fucking goals. You have no idea.
If you look back,
Oh my
honestly,
God.
now that I think about this, our play of the night, how many times Ottawa's been involved in the wrong end of the
Yes,
play
yeah,
of the night?
and James has been the one running most of them. So I mean, it just goes to show you, Matt Murray plays most of those games
Fuck,
too.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, they're not good.
Ooh.
But anyways, some big news for Mike, I guess, if you really want to call it that.
Eat a dick.
Nico Hischier named the Devils captain today, 12th captain in history. He's only 22. He's the youngest captain in the NHL right now, but obviously not the youngest captain ever, because we had McDavid. So
Right.
Who wasn't a whole lot younger.
he was like 20.
He was 21.
Oh, I think he was 20. It doesn't matter.
It does.
Some great news for our Leafs fans. Mike Babcock has returned to coaching at the University of Saskatchewan.
Is that a
Yeah.
different
It's
place?
not even in the same fucking province.
Oh.
No, it's not. It's
Oh,
not.
Saskatchewan? in Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
Saskatchewan's a separate province from
It's not the
Ontario.
same place. Fuck Canada.
Yeah, no. It's
Wait, you thought Saskatchewan and Toronto? Same
No, not
place?
Toronto.
Saskatchewan is where
Saskatoon is in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Saskatchewan is where and I'm pretty sure no. Edmonton is? No.
Edmonton, Alberta.
Winnipeg. It's where Winnipeg is.
Winnipeg.
Because Calgary and
Alberta.
Edmonton are in Alberta. I think Winnipeg's in Saskatchewan. But besides the point.
Winnipeg.
This is a nice little throwback for you, Drew. Adam Henrique was just placed on waivers.
I love Adam Henrique.
Yeah, he just got placed on waivers. He has not been playing really good hockey. Since he went to the Devils.
That's
And I guess lastly,
fine. Winnipeg's in Manitoba, you jackass.
Yeah, it's
Is
in
it?
fucking Manitoba.
so then what's the fucking capital?
There's nothing in Saskatchewan.
Oh, there isn't.
Banff.
Banff. All right, cool. And I don't know
No,
how
not
most
Banff.
people thought about
Banff.
these, but the Hurricanes broke out the Whalers reverse retro.
Yeah.
The gray, just looking at them with the uniform, I don't like them. I don't like the gray.
Instant reaction. What the fuck? No,
I don't
thought that
like
would
the
be
gray.
whites.
No,
I thought
so
it'd be white or green.
I wish they would have brought back the green, or they should have done reverse retro and flipped the colors and done the blue.
Oh, blue with like
That
the
would have
green
been
and white,
sick.
would've
Yeah,
been
that would have been
garbage.
sick, but of course they didn't. I one time in NHL franchise made a Whalers team with those blue jerseys, and I can tell you for a fact that they are fire.
I can
I
What the
confirm.
fuck is moose jaw?
What?
That sounds like something you get from like head.
Moose snuggle.
It's like, oh, this bitch gave me moose jaw.
So wait, you was talking about her dick?
No, that's my moose sound.
All right. Anybody want to cover the one MLB news we have, or should I just say it?
Sure you want it? This is your thing.
The
MLB is
one
your thing.
NFL news while I take a shot.
Brett Gardner.
Thanks, Biz.
Still Yankee. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big name signing. It doesn't really do anything for their roster.
I think that he's kind of what Johnny Damon was to the Red Sox.
Oh, there's baseball news.
Oh fuck, there was baseball news. We forgot about that. Thanks for bringing that up.
Fuck, attaboy, Drew. Look at you.
What did I do?
You missed? You didn't hear about Johnny Damon?
No.
All right, well, Zach and I are up for this one.
Dude.
I guess I'm up. Okay.
Oh no, I'll go for it. I didn't know you were kicking
All
it
right,
off.
let's
the
alternate words again.
All right, fine. So,
Pass.
what do I do?
Johnny.
Trash can.
Pass. Johnny Damon blew a .3 at somewhere in Florida and got a Dewey. 0.3. That is
That's-
3 times over the legal limit.
Yeah.
That's more than 3 times over the league.
Well, it
I'm doing
depends.
rough math.
It
Quick
That's
depends on what it
almost
is.
4 times.
Yeah, it's disgusting. What? 0.08, right?
Yeah.
That's insane. That level of alcohol, if you look at that on a scale, like where you would be at.
30
That's almost like alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, it should be.
30% of his blood was infused with alcohol.
Yeah.
Apparently his wife smacked the cop too.
Love that for him.
Love
No,
that,
he
Johnny.
okay. All right, Drew.
Brett Gardner, please
Guess
don't
what?
be Johnny Damon.
All right,
Shout
this
out Kyle Charleston.
you might not get this. He's been over my house too many times for him not to know what I'm about to say. My next door neighbor Charlie, the redneck dude,
Yeah.
he look up the picture of Johnny Damon. Looks exactly like him, but with darker hair. Like he looks that fucking like terrible. It's a good thing my neighbor doesn't watch this. I don't think he knows how to use the internet.
We go down one viewer, and it's like, oh damn it, they call me out.
Yeah, Charlie with the rape fan. I know.
The rape
Is that the racist who live next to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Which
yeah.
one?
No. Well, no. The other one's a neo-Nazi. He doesn't say anything.
There are Confederates and neo-Nazis on both sides.
You didn't know that? The left. So when
I
you
knew
pull,
the right was
the-
fucked up.
so when you pull into my
Like I'm
driveway,
facing.
you're facing my house. You
Those
look
are
at the right.
Confederates.
Those are the. Well, no, she's not Confederate. It's just him.
That's the
It's
Confederates.
Chuck's saloon, and he's got 2 like revolvers on the door,
and a Confederate flag.
and a Confederate flag, and a Trump flag. But that, well, obviously that's
Politics aside.
yeah, politics aside. I'm a northerner. I don't fuck with the Confederate flag.
I'm
Fuck
a
that.
northerner, says Zach.
Yes, I am.
I'm someone who doesn't believe in racism.
Yeah, also
Correct.
true. Also true.
Yeah, fuck the Confederacy.
Yeah,
100%.
insurgency, not the Union. But besides the point. And then to the left of me is a neo-Nazi, and he's got a swastika on his chest. And he also walks his cat.
Doesn't he have one tattoo on his head, too?
He did, but he removed it when I was younger.
Really?
For Zach.
just for Zach. It's like I'm
For his brisk.
I am gonna remove
Yeah, they really needed their neighborhood score
It's a
on
brisk.
on Zillow to go up.
Brisk.
BRISS brisk.
I just had the iced tea.
For his brisk.
He gave him a 99-cent can of fucking iced tea and said, "Have a day."
No.
Here's an iced tea. I removed my swastika. Happy brisk.
It's like this away with his cat.
It's like the Valve logo, except way more racist. Let's get the fucking drain on the back of his head. Anyways, let's fucking it. Let's move on. Let's move on, please, and thank you. Listen, I think all three of us are know what's happening right now. For the audience members here, guys, how do we feel about the Celtics?
Bad.
Would you say it's time to hit a certain little button here?
Whoa.
Is it
No, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna slam the panic button yet. I'll lead off.
I'm gonna tickle the panic button.
Oh shit!
You're gonna tease it? Are you full slam?
Go ahead.
I mean, Danny Ainge's comments didn't instill any confidence in me, but this is still a team that can make the playoffs. And you're talking about a team that also has dealt with enough injuries that Smart, Walker, Brown, and Tatum have only played, I think, I don't know about last night, but have only played a combined like 28 minutes together. So
which is crazy.
Biggest five haven't really played together.
Kemba's been disappointed.
That's true. Kemba's been really
They
disappointed.
need to ship Kemba.
I thought he would fit in so well with this offense.
to be
His
fair, he
style.
did, but now he doesn't.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
He never really lived up to what I expected that team to look like.
and Drew, I'm going to tell you this. Although as a season whole, it makes sense, and I agree with you. But any Boston fans or Celtics fans that listen to this are going to be like, well, you had a great game last night. That doesn't fucking matter. One game doesn't mean shit.
No, it has, and it has to feel right. I thought that Kemba coming here, such a departure from Kyrie Irving's style, such a departure from point guard, ball control, basketball, to a guy that is a playmaker through and through, getting the ball out to guys like Tatum and Brown and Marcus Smart. I thought that team was going to be stellar. Not just good, not just a competitor. I thought they were going to be the team to beat with Kemba Walker running an offense of that caliber.
Okay.
And I think an elite big is really the missing piece right now. And
yeah, I mean,
when you think about it, you need one.
If Blake Griffin comes to the Celtics, I'm buying a Blake Griffin jersey day one. I love Blake Griffin.
I don't think
I don't
that's
hate
the
him.
right move for the Celtics,
A
particularly.
guy who can play defense and hit threes. Who we got
That's
now?
not what
Daniel
I'm-
Tice. Daniel Tice hasn't been shit.
No, and Daniel Tice is, again, definitely not the answer. But
Also,
I
I
don't know.
might be wrong. Blake Griffin might be just a forward.
Blake Griffin is a power forward
Oh, fuck, really?
yeah.
Why did I think he was a center? Why did I think he was a five?
because he's big.
Yeah, probably.
He's a big power forward. No, I think a true five, lockdown defense, and just straight offensive boards. Kick back out to those guys, man. You have a perimeter that consists of Jason Tatum, who is one of the best players in the league. Jaylen Brown, who I think is one of the most underrated players in the league, who I have loved since they drafted him
yeah,
4 or 5 years ago. I think he is a stud. Marcus Smart, who, how is he not one of your favorite players in the NBA?
Yeah, you can't hate Marcus.
He is just a grinder through and through. And
Like the
anything
gay
you
man.
ask that kid to do, or man, now he's getting
the-
up there.
Marcus Smart's a man.
But he'll go out there and fucking do it to the best of his goddamn God-given ability. Marcus Smart's getting out there and doing what you ask him to do.
yeah, he is. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do.
Then you got Kemba Walker orchestrating it all. All you need is one more big piece and for everyone to stay healthy. And that Celtics team should, if not win the NBA Finals, be in the NBA Finals. But
yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I mean, to my point is that, you know, they haven't been playing well as of late.
no, but again,
and then-
that's due to
Of course,
that combination of players not playing together.
right. But yes, to my initial question, yes, I am hitting the panic button for the Celtics. I think from what we expected of them, this is panic. Yeah. This is panic time, especially with Danny Ainge's comments. You don't look at this and expect a Celtics team that's gonna win the championship with the Lakers in the West, with how the Sixers were gonna look, and with what transpired with the Nets.
And historically, the Sixers have not played well against the Celtics.
No, they had their numbers. They had. That's true, but think about it more along the lines of this. Now they're sitting at like the 6th or the 7th seed, and they're teetering on the edge of not even being in the playoffs right now. Which obviously, I'm sure they're going to right the ship somehow.
There's still
make
time.
The playoffs. There's time, but they're letting a higher seed slip away from them, and I don't think that they're going to be able to do anything if they're going to match up against the Sixers or the Nets. Yes, they've had the number against the Sixers, but Joel Embiid is playing out of his mind basketball right now, and I don't foresee them being able to hold that up.
I still think they match up well against the Sixers if enough of their guys are healthy. The Sixers don't scare me as much as the Nets do right now. The Nets have the ability to run away with basketball games against the best teams in the league. Mm-hmm. Just the fact that they were able to, like you guys mentioned before, beat the Lakers, who are pretty much without a question without the best team in the league overall. Maybe not as much this year, but to go in and beat the Lakers without two of your big three, that team's scary.
Yeah. I don't know.
If Kyrie, KD, and James Harden can all find an up cylinder.
What are you supposed to do about that?
Can all find an up cylinder at the same time and they click together, they're going to be blowing.
This might be outlandish for me to say, and I think we should move on. But I do think over a 7-game series, I'm going to take the Celtics over the Nets. I think Brad Stevens is a good enough coach. I think they can counterattack well enough that they can attack the Nets.
Are you talking about a Nets team that's been what they are with spotty presences of KD and Kyrie and James
I'm thinking
Harden?
Even with the big three out there.
Oh, I disagree.
I know it's hard to see, but I could see it.
Are you talking about a fully healthy Nets versus a fully healthy Celtics?
Yeah.
That might be a different story. Because if the fully healthy Celtics had 10 games to play together, if they go into that series having played 10 games together as a healthy unit, then I give them a chance.
Yeah.
But if that's the first time that they're back together, really, then the Nets are going to fuck on them.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it is time to hit the panic button. I think it's more or less a wake-up call. Like, Celtics fans need to realize what's going on. Like,
yeah.
Like Danny Ainge came out and said, this is not a championship team. And now, it could be he's trying to use a little reverse psychology and say, what are you going to do for me now? Are you going to play or are you just going to sit down? You know what I mean?
Like, I think the fact that they're not where we expected them to be stems from all of the lack of playing time together. I think a lot of it stems from Gordon Hayward last year in not relying, but almost kind of banking, saying, hey, when he gets back in, we're going to put him right in, trying to force him back into the lineup. And I don't think that team ever had the chance off the bat for the chemistry to develop as it should have.
Fair. Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, let's move forward here.
Drew, you ready?
We got our last segment of the night. It's something I cooked up last week for James. And it was hilarious and fun at the same time.
And Drew's a bad BOTA boy and doesn't watch the content all the time. So
Right.
he has no idea what's going on.
All right, no, it's fine. I'll explain this one, Zach, if I'm going to take over.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fine.
No, do your intro.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Zach, you want me to explain it?
Welcome to the fucking gauntlet.
All right, Drew. So as Zach explained it last week that you so graciously listened to, The Gauntlet is the same thing as Sports Central as not pardon my take, but whatever the take show is that I can't think of the name of. Rome's Burning.
Pardon my take?
No, not
No,
pardon
not
my
pardon my
take.
take.
Pardon the interruption.
Pardon the interruption.
You have instead of there are ghosts in this house. Drew, instead of a
There's
couple
some
minutes
holes in
to
this
answer
house.
each one of these questions that would be on a sidebar, I'm going to be rapid fire asking you questions about sports, your opinions on sports, and other.
And other. Oh, good. I love other.
All right, Drew, are you ready?
Other.
Other. Zach, are you ready?
Listen, I'm just here for the ride. This is gonna be
All
great.
right, we're going to do the imaginary timer again. Drew, take a shot. Take a little sip. Sippy boopy. Oh, little sippy boy. Oh, he's going to do a little shot. Oh,
Look at that. He's pretty short.
Oh, he did it. All right, Drew. 3, 2, 1. Is Aaron Rodgers still a Packer next season?
Yes.
Okay. What is a Packer?
A football player that wears green and yellow.
Not satisfied. Who has the number 1 pick next year in the NFL draft?
The Jaguars.
Jesus Christ. Drew, name 5 WNBA players.
No.
Sexist. Sexist. Drew hates women. Who is the biggest beneficiary of the Wentz trade?
By far the Colts.
Player-wise.
Carson Wentz.
Not name Carson Wentz.
Frank Reich.
Sure.
Pass.
I like it.
How much is Lil Uzi Vert's diamond worth? It doesn't begin with the T.
No. Wait, yes it does.
Fuck. Yes, it begins with the T. But it doesn't have an H after it.
No. Sort of.
I don't know.
Out of
Way
time.
too much fucking money.
$20 million.
All right, Drew, you're rounding third here. We're going to charge on home, all right? March Madness Dark Horse.
Pass. I don't watch college basketball.
Just name a team.
Name a team. Name a school. Quick.
Hurry up.
All of the schools I know would not work as dark horse candidates.
Drew, we need a team. We need an answer.
UMass Amherst.
All right, well, they're not even in the tournament.
Good.
You idiot. I bet you feel dumb.
I don't.
Who has done the best job in the MLB offseason so far, not named the Dodgers signing Trevor Bauer?
The Nationals.
Oh, yeah, fair. All right, that was a gauntlet.
Word.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Gauntlet.
That was fun.
And also, yeah, that's a mainstay.
So you got to lean forward
That's
for it. You
amazing.
got to breathe.
I was ready.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, that's it for us. boys.
That's it.
That's it for
Yeah.
that's it for the podcast, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the BOTA show.
Boys, can I say it was so nice recording together again?
I know.
Right? It's been so fucking long. I'm glad we did
I
this.
know.
Oh,
It's great.
it's great.
I should call him.
No.
Okay, well, you guys know where to find us. You found us.
We're in your ears.
Okay.
You made it to the end of the damn show.
You found us.
Congratulations.
We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Guys, I made a fucking Reddit page. We're on
Are we
fucking
really?
Reddit
Are we
too.
really on Twitter?
We're on Reddit. We on Reddit.
Why?
Yeah.
We have a BOTA Sports. r/BOTA Sports.
r/BOTA Sports.
Nuh-uh.
Reddit.
Checking it live.
Going to the moon. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor. Anchor and Spotify are now one conglomerate.
look at that. It's us.
Dude,
Why
I
is
even
there a
made-
red beard?
Because that's the BOTA colors. I imported
yeah.
them from the
Yeah,
color
that
scheme.
plays. That plays.
Yeah. Anyways,
Hex code and all.
hex code, exactly. Hex code's the way to go.
Oh,
Not
no.
RGB
Love
numbers.
hex codes.
Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
Sportsman.
Oh, yes, we are also on SportsMe. James has been creating battles there. Please check us out on SportsMe to battle James in your takes.
Yeah, just support them anyway. 'Cause they're dope
Yeah,
dudes.
SportsMe, very cool app. Haven't used it yet. Watched all the battles, though. It is fire.
Don't they like DM us?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
they're
that's
great people.
dope.
Yeah, the creator of James' DMs.
I think it's Jeff. Jeff is one who DMs us.
Yeah.
He's
That's
such
so
a nice
cool.
guy.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Love it.
That is really cool.
Go check out SportsMe.
They care about every person on that app, and it's
They
awesome.
really do. They customize banners for you all the time,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah.
Sick. Product placement. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. This has been the BOTA Show. Stay soggy.
Stay beautiful.
I'm Drew.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Forget about that before.
Love you, Chris.
All right, Drew. So as Zach explained last week, they should basically listen to. The Gauntlet is the same thing as Sports Central as, not pardon my take, but whatever the take show is that I can't think of the name of. Pardon my take? No, pardon my take. Pardon the interruption. You have, instead of, there are ghosts in this house. Drew, instead of a couple minutes to answer each one of these questions that would be on a sidebar, I'm going to be rapid fire asking you questions about sports, your opinions on sports, and other. And other. Oh, good. I love other. All right, Drew. Are you ready? Other. Zach, are you ready? Listen, I'm just here for the ride. All right, we're going to do the imaginary timer again. Drew, take a shot. Take a little step. All right, Drew. 3, 2, 1. Is Aaron Rodgers still a Packer next season? Yes. Okay. What is a Packer? A football player. The player's green. No. Not satisfied. Who has the number 1 pick next year in the NFL draft? The Jaguars. Jesus Christ. Drew, name 5 WNBA players. No. Sexist. Sexist. Drew hates women. Who is the biggest beneficiary of the Wentz trade? By far, player-wise. Carson Wentz. Not name Carson Wentz. Right. Sure. Pass. I like it. How much is Lil Uzi Vert's diamond worth? It doesn't begin with a T. No. Wait, is it? Fuck. Yes, it begins with a T. It doesn't have an H after it. Yeah. Sort of. I don't know. Way too much fucking money. $20 million. All right, Drew, you're rounding third here. We're going to charge on home, all right? March Madness dark horse. Pass. I don't watch college basketball. Just name a team. Name a team. Name a school. Quick. Hurry up. All of the schools I know would not work as dark horse candidates. Drew, we need a team. We need an answer. UMass Amherst. All right, well, we're not even in the 20 minutes. Good. That makes you feel dumb. I don't.